Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and today's video is a little bit different than anything I have put out previously. We're gonna go down memory lane. We have a bit of a story time as well as a hobby portion towards the end. So as always, let me know what you think in the comments and let's get into it. So our story begins a couple weeks ago. I was minding my business as usual, scrolling Warhammer community, and I try actually to stop doing this because it's exhausting, frankly, trying to keep up with all of the new releases every single week. So I really only go on there if there's something that has spiked my interest, right? I'm on there, I'm scrolling, and I see that the Soulblight Gravelords are getting an updated battle tome and a vanguard and a new character, and I'm just interested, okay? I'm very interested. And the reason I'm interested is because my very first army ever was the vampire counts, and we can just call them vampires for the rest of the video because I'm truthfully very sick of saying Soulblight Gravelords. So I was looking at the book, and you know how they're doing the new red trim for all of the new battle tomes, and it just looked so amazing and I was very intrigued. And it brought me back to simpler times of the past, of yesteryears, of going through my very first battle tome. I don't even remember what it was called back then. It was just your faction book or whatever. And reading about all of the lore behind the vampires and the undead and the zombies and just going through this in my head. And I was just thinking, oh no, I'm getting the feeling that I need to work on this army again after all of these years. So this led me to a 6 a.m. wake up in which I was sitting in my pajamas on the floor of my hobby room. I had made a huge mess digging through a bunch of old boxes trying to find my old models from years ago. And I did, looking through them, and of course I got emotional. I don't know if it's because my painting has progressed so much recently. I don't know if it's because I turned 30 recently. I don't want to talk about it. I don't know why, but I just found myself getting so emotional over these miniatures, and I was just looking through my old zombies, my ghouls, my Vargeists, like so many cool things that I found. And actually, when I first started painting, I would put the number of that model on the bottom order that I had painted them in. So like the first model I ever painted, which I actually didn't find in this box, I don't know where that thing is, but number 1 has the number 1 on the bottom, and then my second model has number 2 on the bottom. And my thought process was that I was going to keep track of like my progression because I was realizing with each one I was getting a lot better, and I wanted to make sure that I would remember that and have the progression. But then what ended up happening was at about 20 something, I don't know, I started painting a ton of things at once, and then at that point it just didn't make sense anymore. But it's so special to have these models from the beginning, the very start of my journey. And you could not tell me anything about this White King specifically. I thought this thing was straight fire. I was so excited to get this thing on the table, and just I thought it was the most beautifully painted model I had ever done. So I knew after going through all these I wanted to paint something up from this army, and I decided on the Necromancer because the model's older, but I think it aged really well, and I was just looking at his face and his robes and it was just appealing to me. So I painted it. And I liked it. I had a really good time. And I thought that after I finished it, hit it with that black rim, posted it on Instagram, did the whole thing, I thought I would feel fulfilled. Like that itch had been scratched. Like I thought that was going to be it, and I could just walk away and keep painting Votan. But that didn't happen. Instead, what happened is I felt that feeling of, ooh, I'm just getting started, which is a dangerous feeling for someone with my personality type to have, let me tell you. After going through my old bits box and my old case, I actually found a bunch of zombies that I hadn't painted yet. They were primed, they were ready to go. I want to do something cool. I want to make some little cute grave sites, and so that is what I did. So it was pretty straightforward. I mean, I found these 2 round bases. I tried to make it look like the zombies were poking out of the ground. I found this absolute gem of a kitty cat in my bits box, and I was like, I have to use this. In fact, I don't want to use it as a background object. I want it to be front and center. So I glued that thing right on the front and just kind of arranged it in a way that I wanted. I also had some trees and some cute little skull piles from Epic Basing, and I'll go ahead and link them below. This is not sponsored, by the way. I paid good money for those trees. But yeah, so I thought the trees looked really spooky and would be perfect. So I went ahead and glued them on, and the scene started coming together. I put a couple tombstones on there, and then after everything was glued in place, I just slapped it with some texture paste, let it dry, primed it black, and that was that. Now, if there is one thing to know about me, it is that I'm going to base coat everything purple. And that is just because I think it adds a lot of visual intrigue to whatever you're painting. So I just very quickly water down some purple paint. It really doesn't matter what purple you use. Water it down, I would say 3 parts water, 1 part purple. And just slosh it around all over the place. You do not need an airbrush to do this, although if you did spray it, it would probably be smoother, probably be faster. But you know, whatever. I just went ahead and base coated that, and then I started painting. Aesthetically for this project, I decided to go with a very saturated color palette, and I definitely thought about a more realistic, dark, gory type of effect and overall look, but I have just been having way too much fun with bright colors recently, and I think I've kind of pinned that as my style that is satisfying to me to paint. And so I decided that even though I am painting up these models that are supposed to rain fear and terror on any they encounter, they can be bright too, and I think that that's cool. Think like Frankenstein, he's bright green and a total classic. As far as the mood of the project, I went for Count Chocula, you know? Spooky, but kind of adorable too, as captured with this kitty cat here who has the cutest little pink nose and brightest little pink ears, but then also has blood dripping down its mouth because it just gobbled somebody up. I think that that perfectly summarizes the exact vibe of the entire army. One of the things that I had the most fun with was making various skin tones for the zombies that I was using that represent different levels of decay. Throughout the project, I decided I wasn't going to really spend a whole lot of time blending. I was just going to lay the color on nice and heavy and vibrant, and it was actually really refreshing to paint something and not really worry about demonstrating my best skill level with blends and all of these other things. It was just a really relaxing and fun time to do this. So this is how they came out. I am absolutely jazzed with them. I think that they look amazing, especially for the I guess, lack of effort I put into them. You just really can't go wrong with zombies. They were so much fun to work on. I hope that you enjoyed seeing this process. I hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, I appreciate every comment and message and like and share and all of the social media stuff. I actually ordered a zombie dragon, a Vanguard box, some more zombies, and a corpse cart. So yeah, I hope you like undead things because there's about to be a lot more on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.